Good morning, all. So today I'm discussing sixth unit, that is the last unit. So after so already we are completing 3 units because this is a small unit. So that's why I'm completing this one before and 4 and 5. So fourth unit is pattern system. Already I give clarity about fourth and fifth units yesterday. So then now I'm going to discuss sixth unit. So contemporary management. Okay. So contemporary management. These are the new things which are uh, developed in recent years for different purposes of the different companies. Okay. So depending upon their requirement, the individual companies are developing their own strategies. So for their business success, for the purpose of their business success. Uh, so now we are going to see each and every one. So first one, management information system. So nowadays everything is computerized, everything is online. So now the information is stored in a computer systems, and whenever it is uh, the information, whenever the information is required, then I have to download it or retrieve it from the computer servers. So the mechanism is different because all of you know this computer networks, intranet and internet, and through these networks you have to access the information from the servers. Then in servers the data is stored in a databases. That is different one. So we are not going about that deeply. So just we are talking about management information system. So for the management, suppose in the management, so there is a importance of the information. Suppose if you have to take any decision regarding your organization, then you need some information or a complete information about that issue. Then you have to store the information what is already um, completed. That means what is already going on or completed. Then you have to store that information into one place. Then for that purpose, you need some files. Suppose in traditional way, you need some files. That means you have to put everything on paper and you have to keep them into file and you have to store in a shelf. Okay. So now you have to retrieve that information. Then you have to say go to that shelf and also uh, you have to search that and also you have to uh, move the papers. Okay. So that is suppose is there any fire accidents or something or some suppose any losses, physical damages of paper, then you have to lost that information. So to overcome this problem, they are planning some information system for the purpose of management, that is called as management information system. So you have to kept all the data into computer or servers, then that will be used for management. Okay, so this information is used for not only management, for all for everyone, that means who are working in the organization. So this is very useful for every employee and also management uh, to get better information at any point of time. So MIS refer to the process of covering the application of people, technology and procedures to solve business problems. So this MIS is mainly focused on suppose is there any business problems. So how to resolve these problems? So this is nothing but an application to cover all the problems through the technology, and it gives us some solution, and also not it does not give us a complete solution, but to solve the problems, this is very useful. Okay, so to the management people. Then MIS distinct from regular information systems. MIS is distinct from, and that means it is different from regular information systems in that they are used to analyze other information systems applied in operational activities in the organization. So the MIS is used to analyze other information systems. Okay, this is also information system, but it is also used some other information system to analyze and operative activities in the organization. Okay, so this is different from normal or a regular information system in this way. Then it is also commonly used to refer to the group. Okay, so this is useful for group of the people, and also it is for individual also. Okay, so manager itself is also retrieving the data. That means some group of people, they are also retrieving the data. So then information management methods try to the automation or support of human decision making. So why this management information system is required for an organization? Suppose anybody is taking the decision about any type of situation in the organization, and also any type of problems in the organization. So this automation of the information is very, very useful, and also it gives support to the decision making process, human decision making process. Okay, so this is the main use of the management information system. Okay, so it is completely automation. Okay, then example, decision support systems, expert systems earlier. So before that, we are having some decision support systems and also expert systems. That means a decision support system is nothing but, suppose you have to take any decision, then this information system is giving support to that decision making process to take a correct decision. Okay, so any type of decision you have to take, suppose if you have to take any decision, then there is a need of information. Okay, so that is very, very important thing. Okay, so without information you are unable to take the decision, and also you are not coming to judgment on any type of issue. Then after that, expert systems earlier. So expert system is also there. Expert system is mean nothing but it gives support to the decision support system. That means some knowledge and skill sets is there. So that means expert system is nothing but the previous knowledge. That means suppose if you are taking a judicial system, suppose any judge is giving the judgment based on some previous cases also. Okay, suppose recently we are taking so many cases, they are quoting some decisions in the judgment. Suppose right now the APCS Neelam Sahni, sorry, CS, not ACS, CEO, election officer, state election officer. So she is appointed as a CSC. She is a my ex chief secretary, and also ex advisor of the uh, government of government of AP. So in before some of the cases, Supreme Court is has given direction. So suppose for the appointment of the SEC, State Election Commission, then you are not appointing any retired CSS, CS, that means chief secretaries, and also any service, suppose any positions in the services in the government, then these people are not appointed as a SEC. Recently, the Supreme, suppose in previous already the Supreme Court is giving some clear directions. So in High Court, this case is going on. Suppose I think yesterday or day after yesterday, so before yesterday, so 2 days. Then the lawyer is raised this point. The Supreme Court has given directions like this. So the Neelam Sahni is working as a chief secretary and also chief advisor to the CM. Then she, according to the Supreme Court direction, she is not eligible for a SEC post or a SEC position. Then this point is raised by the lawyer. So the High Court is asking, suppose you give the proof, then you give the judgment copy. Then we are continuing this uh, case. Okay, they are asking the proof about the judgment. Then depending, suppose if the judgment is like that, then ultimately it shows impact on the present judgment. This is nothing but a decision expert system. That means previous how they are handling this type of situations in organization. Suppose this type of problem is already occurred in the past, then how they are resolving this issue. Then you have to record everything what they have done. then you have to simply go back and you have to take that mm, solution. Then you have to apply at present situation also. So in this way, the expert systems are giving support to the decision support system. Okay. So these two are very, very important. So when computers were newly launched, business computers were used for the practical business of computing the payroll and keeping track of account payable and receivable. As applications are developed that provided managers with information about sales, inventories, and other data that will help in managing the enterprise. The term MIS arose to describe their kind of applications. Okay. So suppose when computers were newly launched, so the computers are newly launched, then business computers were used for the practical business of computing and the payroll and keeping track of account payable and receivable. So after computers are launched, then practical business, that means the computers are also used for practical business mm, practical business issues. So they are computing payroll, that means salary of the employee, and keeping track of account payable and receivable. That means what you have to pay and what you have to receive. That means amount received, then that is account. That means cash received and cash pay, or bank through bank or something. So you have to record all the things in the computer. As applications were developed that provided managers with information about sales, inventories, and other data. So after that, some of the softwares are developed for the purpose of to know the to keep the information of the sales, and also inventories, and also some other data. Help in managing the enterprise. That means for the purpose of management of the organization, this information is very, very useful for a manager. So sales related data, inventory data, and also mm, payables and receivables, and also payrolls. That means nowadays it is called as some ERP software, enterprise resource plannings. Now it will become, now after that it will become ERP. And so we are, so in next classes we are also discussing about this. Then the term MIS arose to describe their kind of applications. So then after that, they named it as a MIS, Management Information System, because it stores complete information about the organization, and also this is very helpful to the management also. Then after that, definition. So definition is, it can be defined as research in the information systems. Field examines more than that the technological system or just the social system or even the two side by side. In addition, it investigates the phenomena that emerge when the two interact. Okay, so it is defined as research in the information systems. Field examines more than that the technological system or just the social system. So MIS is nothing but a technological system, and also it is a social system, or even the two side by side. So it is a technology, and also it is also social system. Both are even in two side by side. In addition, it investigates the phenomena that emerge when the two interact. So both are interacted with one with another. Then exchanging information is also there. So that is useful for management to take the decisions in an effective manner. The next concept is end user computing. Suppose you had to develop any type of application in the computer for the purpose of end user. That means the application is comfortable for the end user. That means it is very simply to interact. That means to use that application. So there is no complexity. So without any computer knowledge also, they are able to use that application. So that is the best application. It is treated as a best application. So that is end user computing. That is very, very important, because you have to develop any type of software that will be used by someone. Those are called as end user. So you have to develop any software that is user friendly. That means the usage of that application is comfortable for everyone, so and easily understandable. So you have to take care about that. Take care about these things. Then This term broadly meaning that there are no intermediary services for making use of computer. Suppose there is no services, how to use the computer, making use of the computer. The end user acquires the hardware and software and run their application without the services of the specialist IS department. Suppose the computer is used by the person. He does not acquire any computer knowledge and he does not about he don't know about computer hardware and software and also their applications. So and also without any support of the IS support information system department, he is able to access that application and also he is able to use that application in any without any confusion or very easiest manner. So that is the major important thing in the end user computing. So suppose you have to develop anything that is user friendly. Okay, so that is very important thing. Then after that, factors for its growth. So what are the factors causes its growth? Then first one is growth of microcomputers. So after that, microcomputers are also developed. So that means small computers. So those are called as mini or microcomputers. Then dissatisfaction, delays, poor quality of centralized application systems built by the IT specialist. Okay, so there is some delays and also poor quality of centralized application systems then built by the IT specialist. So this one is this leads to dissatisfaction. Suppose the end user, suppose it is difficult to the end user, so it leads to dissatisfaction. They are unable to use this application. So because it is a complex one. So after that, increase in computers literacy among end users. After that, we have to try to improve the literacy about the computer. Then automatically they are able to use any type of application. Okay, so this is about end user computing. Then next third one, materials requirement planning. So materials requirement planning, that will be short termed as MRP. So MRP is a software based production planning and inventory control system used to manage manufacturing processing. Okay, so MRP is a software. It is based on production. It is software based production planning. So it is mainly used for production planning. So that means how to schedule the production. That means it is very much useful for production planning. So that means when you have to produce and what is the requirement of the materials, what are the requirements of the material. So for all these purposes, the MRP is very useful. So when you have to acquire the materials and when you have to purchase the material and when you have to put the order for materials and at the present what is the stock position of the stock position in the organization. So and after that EOQ, so economic order quantity. So already I'm discussed in that materials management EOQ, very important. So in this way you have to manage each and everything. So in the manufacturing process and I have to control the inventory system also through the use of materials requirement planning. Okay. Okay. Then what are the objectives of this materials requirement planning? Okay. So what are the objectives? To ensure the availability of materials and products for production delivery to customers. Okay. So suppose there is a demand for your product, but you are unable to deliver the products in time. So because there is no availability of the raw material, then you are unable to deliver the customers. You are unable to deliver the products to the customers in time. So for that purpose, you have to ensure the availability of raw materials and products for production delivered to customers. Whenever you have to maintain the raw materials in a proper manner, then you are able to produce. And after that, you have to deliver the products in time. Okay. So otherwise, you are unable to do this. Okay. That purpose, you need some materials requirement planning, MRP software. Then you have to plan and you have to maintain the materials availability always. The materials, that means the required raw materials are available. That means in general adequate materials, raw materials, that means not extra or not lesser. Okay, so you have to maintain adequate level of raw materials. Then to maintain the lowest possible level of inventory, after that You have to maintain the lowest possible level of inventory also. Suppose how much stock you have to maintain at least, then you have to idea about uh, then you have to know about this also. That means how much stock you have to maintain at lesser. So that means it does not disturb the production process. Okay. So up to, that means maximum level, and also you have to know minimum level also. So then according to that you have to place order. Okay. So suppose you don't have money, suppose today you don't have money, so you need to know the raw materials is enough or not. Suppose very less amount of raw material is there, then it is um, it is okay or not, then you have to find out this. That means you have to know the lowest quantity of the raw material. Okay. Then according to that you have to plan, you have to put the order. Okay, place the order. Then to plan manufacturing activities, delivery schedules, and purchasing activities. After that, you have to plan manufacturing activities and also delivery schedules. At what time you have to give the delivery, and also you have to give the customer delivery date exactly, and purchasing activities. Then you have to plan the purchasing activities also. Okay, so these are the objectives of the materials requirement planning. Then this is about some graphical representation of the materials requirements planning. So this is the materials requirement planning. So these are the inputs, orders, forecasting. That means how much amount required for future purpose, raw materials, and a master production schedule. Then you have to maintain a production schedule. Then after that, bill of materials. BOM is bill of materials, and inventory. Inventory is nothing but a stock. Okay. So orders, forecasting of raw material, then master production schedule, then after that bill of materials and inventory. These are the inputs. And after that materials requirement planning, we are able to getting purchase orders, material plan, work orders, reports. From this material requirement planning, we are getting these things. These are the inputs and these are the outputs. So purchase orders, material plan, work orders, and reports. Okay. So this is about materials requirement planning. Okay. Then next topic is just in time. So just in time, another topic, another important thing in the contemporary management. So just in time means when computer components arrive as and when required in a manufacturing operating by workers, it is called just in. That means at what time it is required, then at that time you have to directly purchase that item. That means at that time only it is arrived. Okay, at what time it is required, at that time only it is arrived. That is nothing but just in time. Okay, whenever it is required, then we have to purchase that one and immediately use that one. That is just in time. So you are not able to maintain the stock previously, then whenever it is required, then you have to directly bring that one or purchase that one, then you have to use it. That is just in time. So some we would at a stroke eliminate any inventory of parts. They would simply arrive just in time. Suppose you have to eliminate the inventory parts to keep to store, then that is this is simply arrive just in time. Then you are using this technique. Just whenever it is required, then it will be arrived. So similarly, we could produce finished goods just in time to be handed to a customer who wants them. Suppose when the customer is ready to purchase that, then only have to ready that product. Okay, that is also comes under just in time. Whenever the demand is there, then you have to ready at that time only. Suppose the customer is raise the order. Suppose you went to a bakery shop, then you have to place an order for cake. So suppose some of the cakes are readily available, but you give an order after, suppose you need some special thing, special cake, depending upon your requirement. Then you place the order. After that, he make the cake and he delivers to you. Okay, so he gives to you. This is nothing but just in time. When the order is placed by the customer, then immediately they start the processing. After that, after sometimes suppose they are giving some time, they are asking some time. So after that, then you have to take the cake from suppose you have to collect the cake from bakery shop. Then this is nothing but just in time. Whenever is required, then you have to produce it or purchase it. Okay. So that is just in time. That is the best example for just in time. Okay. So just in time to be handed to a customer who wants them. Those are required, then only have to deliver that one, deliver to that person only. So at conceptual extremes, JIT has no need for inventory or stock. So JIT is not no need of inventory or stock, either of raw materials or work in progress or finished goods. Only it is focusing on whenever it is required, then you have to purchase or something. Then there is no need of inventory or stock or raw material position or work in progress or finished goods. It is not related to just in time. Okay, so it is only focused on whenever it is required, then you have to bring that one or purchase that one, or coming they are just entering into the organization whenever it is required. That is just in time. Then next one is total quality management, TQM. So TQM is another important one, total quality management. So it is term first coined by the US Naval Air Systems. So this is first introduced by US Naval Air Systems. So they are first introduced this one for the purpose of the quality they are maintaining in the Naval Air Systems. So Naval Air Systems command to describe it's a Japanese style management. Basically, it is a Japanese style of management approach to quality improvement for the purpose of quality improvement. It is a management approach to long-term success through customer satisfaction. So you have to maintain the quality in at all levels. That's why it is called as a total quality management. So from the raw material stage, purchasing of raw material stage, and after the product is ready, then last stage, then up to that one, then you have to maintain the quality each and every step in the processing. Okay, so in each and every step of the production process, you have to maintain the quality. That means you have to maintain quality at all levels. That is called as total quality management. Okay, so for that purpose only it will be uh, uh, it will be invented and also it will be used. Okay, so for the purpose of quality improvement. Okay, so you are giving best quality products to the consumer, then you need to maintain the quality at all levels. Then that is very important for the any type of the organization. Then only there is a repeated customers. When you are giving the quality product, then only the customers are repeated. Then only the repeated customers are using our product. Then and also it is a management approach to long-term success. Okay, so this is also a management approach to long-term success through customer satisfaction. Whenever you are giving the quality product, then ultimately the customer is very much satisfied with your product, and also your business is going on long term, and also you will be success in your business long term. Okay, so then in a team effort, all members of an organization participate in improving processes, products, services, and the culture in which they work. Okay, so in a TQM effort, all members of an organization to participate in improving process. Okay, so all the members, all the employees in the organization, they are giving contribution, and also they are playing an important role in the TQM, because all are taking care about the quality of the product. Then only we are giving the better quality, best quality product to the customer. So participate in improving process, products, services, and the culture in which they work. So always they are maintaining good standards and quality at all level. Then only we are giving the good quality product to the consumer. Okay, so this is about total quality management. Okay, so after that, Six Sigma. So Six Sigma is the next topic. So very small topics are there. Just they are asking like some 3 or 4 in one question bits. So 8A, 8B, so CED like this. So each and every one they are giving some 3 marks or 4 marks. Okay, so not a single one. So they are asking as a combination or some topics from this unit. Okay, Six Sigma. So Six Sigma is a set of practices developed by Motorola to systematically improve process by eliminating defects. So the what is the main purpose of this Six Sigma is to eliminate the defects in the production process, and they are giving best product to the customer. This is first developed by Motorola company. So a defect is defined as a non-conformity of a product or services to its specification. So what we are mentioning the specification, then it deviates to the specification. That means it is not conformity of a product or services to its specification. So our product is not matching with our specification, then that will be treated as a defect. Okay. So Six Sigma refers to the ability of highly capable processes to produce output within specification. So what is the main purpose of Six Sigma is what are the things you have to mention in the specification. Then you have to give all the things and you have to match all the things. Then uh, your product is 100% give satisfaction to the customer. So in particular process, the operate with Six Sigma quality produce at a defect level below 3.4 defects per million opportunities. Suppose if you are having a million opportunities, only the defect percentage is 3.4. They are only allowing only 3.4 out of million opportunities. Okay, so that means very less of defects. We are not allowing any type of defects, just only 3.4% defects only from a million opportunities. Then the statistical representation of Six Sigma quantitatively how a process is performing. Okay, so it is also represented in the statistical formation. Okay, so Six Sigma quantitatively how a process is performing. That means how a process is performing in a quantitative. Then we are giving in a represented in a quantitative format. To achieve Six Sigma, a process must not produce more than 3.4 defects per million opportunities. So Six Sigma is only allowing only 3.4 defects from million of opportunities. So a Six Sigma defect is defined as anything outside of customer specification. So the customer is already specified some things, giving some specifications. Apart from this, you have to do any deviation in the product, then that will be treated as a defect. Okay. So a Six Sigma opportunity is then the total quantity of chances for a defect. Okay. Then a definition. Six Sigma at any organization simply means a measure of quantity that services for near perfection. So it is uh, useful. That means it measures a quality that services for near perfection. That means not exactly 100%, 99.9% you have to give what you have to mention in the specification. Okay. So only 0.1% is acceptable. Then Six Sigma is a disciplined data-driven approach and a methodology for eliminating defects in any process from manufacturing to transaction and from product to service. So suppose you have to take any type of product, then it is disciplined and also data-driven approach and a methodology for eliminating defects. Then what is the main purpose of Six Sigma? You have to eliminate the defects in any process from manufacturing to transaction. That means from raw material stage to final product stage. So you have to control completely monitoring all the things which are occurred in between the raw material stage to product stage. Okay, so this is about Six Sigma. Okay, so today I stopped over here.